So using the molar mass to help you determine other things about chemical procedures and stuff like that is very important. So on our previous example, when you had to calculate the molar mass of, say, ethanol, now we're going to use that 46.06 grams per mole as a conversion factor. So 46.06 grams per mole. So 1 mole of ethanol has that mass. So this kind of question, converting grams to moles. So in your book you have a great little diagram that shows you, stuff like this, and then here's one from this website that's kind of just a really good example of how, if you have mass, how to get to moles. That involves using your molar mass to do that. I'm just going to show you here how that's done. If you have to convert grams to moles or moles to grams, which you will have to do on upcoming tests. So in chemistry it works off of moles, but when you go to the balance to measure stuff out, you're measuring the mass in grams. So you have to do this conversion all the time, this kind of conversion. So you need a molar mass of the substance that you're working with. In this case, ethanol. We want to make sure that we get the right number of moles for the chemical reaction to proceed the way it's supposed to. In order to do that, we have to go back and forth with grams quite a bit. So this particular kind of problem, you're going to start off with your 20.50 grams of ethanol, which is CH3CH2OH. That's its formula. And you're just going to do this conversion, which is just one step, where you're going to convert from grams to moles. So to do that, you'll say that 1 mole of ethanol, CH3CH2OH, is 46.06 grams of CH3CH2OH. And you may be tempted to want to not write these things down, but this is just a one-step problem, so not so bad on that. But when you have multiple steps and you need to keep up with more stuff, you'll benefit from writing out what you just put down. So you don't want to just put gram mole all the time. You want to put what it is, because you're going to be converting from grams to moles, and then moles of this stuff to moles of something else, and moles of that to moles of something else, and then back to grams. So it's good to keep up with everything that you're writing down, and don't just expect that you'll remember what that was. Also, these are things you might, once you see the instructions, you might be tempted just to do it all on your calculator, but I do recommend that you write it down when you're doing the calculation, just because you just want to make sure that if it started out in grams and you've got grams that you have to convert, that if you write it down like this, you need to cancel out the grams and convert it to moles. If you write it down like that, it'll tell you that this is on the bottom and this is on the top. So this is the top divided by the bottom. So when you go to your calculator, you would actually type in the 20.50 divided by your 46.06, because it's on top, the 20.5 is on top of this, and then when you divide that, you'll get an answer, and then you have to look at your answer, because your calculator will give you more significant digits than you're probably going to be allowed to have most of the time. So your original measurement had 4 significant digits. 20.50, that 0 on the end is significant, otherwise it would not have been written. And the 0 in between the 2 and the 5 is also significant. So this has 4 significant figures. this number, your molar mass here that you rounded before, has 4 significant figures. So my final answer should be reported to 4 significant figures. So if you're looking at your calculator answer, it's 0.44507. So 0.4450, and then there's a 7 after the 0. So there you go. There's 1, 2, 3. My 4 sig fig would arrive right here where the 0 is. Now that 7 is going to make that 0 kind of round up to a 1. So my reportable answer is 0.4451 moles of ethanol. And this bottom part is just the opposite kind of procedural step. You have moles of ethanol, and it wants to know how many grams that is. So you're going to approach it the same way. You're going to start out with your moles this time, though. 0.925 moles of ethanol, which is CH3, CH2, OH, and there's a nice straight line just like that one up there. Now you're going to flip this around. You're going to take your conversion factor, or your molar mass, and you're going to flip it to put the mole portion in the bottom. So 1 mole of CH3, CH2, OH is 46.06 grams of CH3, CH2, OH. Now you're going to cancel out moles, top and bottom. And now you've got a 1 on the bottom, so you don't need to divide anything by 1 because it doesn't change anything. But side by side you're going to multiply. So now you're going to multiply your molar mass times your number of moles. So you have your 0.925 that you're going to multiply by the molar mass of 46.06, and you end up with only getting 3 significant digits this time. So if you look at what your calculator attempts to throw it at you, it says 42.605, 42.6055, I think it said. But you only get 3 significant digits. Your third sig fig is at 6, and it's followed by a 0. That 0 does not make that 6 round up to a 7, so you leave it as a 6, and you would report your answer as 42.6 grams of ethanol.